divide by those sides. So now, section 4 is inequalities. We're going to go over that one a little later. So I want you to skip to section 5, which is ratios and proportions on page 445. And I want you to read page 446 and do the numbers 3, 6, and 10. All right, let's look at our problems under ratios and proportions. These are pretty simple. Ratios and proportions, don't let them get you messed up. I'll show you some easy ways to do it. So let's look at number 3. So number 3, we have solve for n. So we have n as a ratio to 12. Okay. Equals 3 to 4. Now, another way we can write this is n over 12 equals 3 over 4. This can be pretty easy. We can just cross multiply here. So you can do 4n. I always keep my variable to the left, so always put your variable first. 4 times n is 4n. Equals 12 times 3, which is 36. Okay, so now we have a simple solving equation problem like we did before. We have 4 times an n. So to get it to the other side and get n isolated, we have to divide by 4. 4 here will cancel out. 36 divided by 4 is 9. So when you solve for n using proportions, use your algebraic functions and you'll get n equals 9, which is selection C. Pretty simple. So let's move on to the word problems because those are the ones that you might get confused on. So let's go to number 6. And let's read it. A summer league softball team won 28 out of 32 games they played. What is the ratio of games won to games played? So just remember they want the ratio of 1 to played. Always write this out because otherwise you can get it confused or write it backwards, and that does make a difference when you're looking at your selections on your answers. So they ask ratio of games won to played. Looking back up, it says the softball team won 28 and played 32. Okay, so here's our ratio, but think about this just like a fraction. You want to put it in simplest form. Here I know these are a factor of 4. So if you do 4 on 20 or 28 divided by 4, we get 7. If you do 32 divided by 4, you get 8. Here I know it's in simplest form, so games won to play would be 7 to 8. Okay, just remember, put it in simplest form. So that would be selection C. Now, you could get it confused and write 8 to 7, which would be wrong. So let's go on to number 10, another word problem, and let's figure this one out. Okay. In a survey by mail, 30 out of 750 questionnaires were returned. Write the ratio of questionnaires returned to questionnaires mailed. Okay? So questionnaires returned to questionnaires mailed. Okay? They said 30 out of the total questionnaires were returned. So we'll put 30. And it says out of 750 questionnaires mailed. So that would be 750. Okay? And we know this can be reduced because if you took 30 is a factor of 750. So 30 divided by 30 would be 1. And 750 divided by 30 would be 25. So out of every 25 mailed, 1 was returned. So, but this is the way they wanted it, returned to mailed. So your answer is 1 to 25, which is selection C, or E. All right. Now we're done with the algebra section. We're going to move on to geometry. And that's it.